Merry Christmas, everyone. Or maybe belated Christmas. Or Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanza, season's greetings, Happy Holidays, whatever holiday you prefer to celebrate. Probably all of this will be a belated greeting as, well, there's a little time before Christmas called Christmas Madness, where you're just trying to get everything together while every day is like everything else. So it took me a while to really get the groundwork for this video started. It's my hope that this will be up by Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, but in case it's not, I'll also put this down as a belated greeting. But if it is, made it on time. I was really debating what I was going to do for this video. And then it came to me. I remember watching the documentary Atari Game Over, which dealt with the E.T. video game and how it was blamed for the fall of an industry, even though it was other games that followed afterwards, leading to Nintendo's rise. It was E.T. and it was PacMan who were the central blamed, mostly because those two were under the Atari brand and they seemed to fall into the standards that others would say were bad games of their own. Well, we're going to take a look at those games and see if the complaints hold up, or if maybe we look at these with new eyes. Surprised? Looks nice, doesn't it? The old arcade classic, PacMan. And yeah, it'd be nice to work with the controllers a bit. But unfortunately, this is not the one we will be covering. Yeah, I'd love it if we were talking about that game. But no. We're actually talking about this one. Yeah, this one. Yep. No sirens, no background noise, and, well, not exactly turning. You've got an eyeball and just bouncing around seemingly everywhere. Dots are replaced with wafers. Fruit is replaced with vitamin pills. The power pellets are power pills. But it's easier for me to move with this one than it was with the arcade. That just means I need a little more practice with the arcade. Ask me. One thing about the home version, well, the death animations, right? Now let's see. As I was saying about the home version, this one was more accessible than the arcade version. Arcade version, you have to go to an arcade to get, and the home version, well, plug it in and just play as best you can. So for a lot of us, this was what we had. This was what we could work with. But even when this was made, they still continued to work on it some more. When you had Ms. PacMan, they improved upon the maze and the quality of the gameplay. But we're not covering that one this time. Maybe a later date. And PacMan Jr. Not at all like the arcade, was it? But as a kid, for me, this was pretty much the bee's knees. Well, it was a good enough bee. I was able to sit down and play this quite a while. Obviously, this is not a game that's aged well in concept. People always like to go back to the original. But as time has gone on, homebrewers have kind of improved upon it. Let's take a look at one. This looks better, doesn't it? Now this is a homebrew called PacMan 4K. The maze structure looks probably a little more the same, but also more like the arcade. The power pellets, however, are hard to spot. They're blinking dashes instead of power pills, so I guess they could be called like power dashes. But when you bite a ghost monster, they turn blue, and it's more like the original arcade game. Still some flickering here and there, I guess. And you hear the siren in the background. But instead of the waka 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 waka, you hear is like dup 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 dup, as if you're kind of like taking footsteps. A hell of a lot different than the original 2600 version, where it felt like you're eating, you were just bouncing. It's like, well, you even looked like you were bouncing. Bam, 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 bam. But here it's dup, 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 bloop, bloop. So this version works for me. A little better, but more closer to the arcade quality. Also makes me wonder if maybe with a little more time and effort, PacMan might have come out a better game in that year. Maybe it was time they didn't have to make it for a special selling season. I could be going on for PacMan quite a bit. Like Space Invaders, it's a gift that keeps on giving. But that is not the only game I have to talk about. Because there definitely was one game that they wanted out for the holiday season. I think you know which one I'm talking about. My time has come. Yes, I am playing E.T. That was the landing zone. You always got to keep your sights at the symbols just above. That was moved in a zone, and yeah, classic problem. I fell into a pit. Get used to it. You're going to be doing that a lot. That's a question mark zone. Trying to find out where the pieces of your interplanetary telephone are. So, and here you are. Dun, 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 dun. Move to another zone. Yep, now you're in the forest. And the scientist is coming after you. And you run into a pit. Yeah, you're going to be running into a lot of pits here. You're going to hate the pits, but they can also be a bit of a safe haven, as the scientist and the FBI guy... there's the FBI guy. Yeah, I think you might have grabbed a Reese's Pieces and he just took off with it, and you ran into a pit. You don't even know when you're going to come across them. Mm-hmm. Yep, scientist coming after you. Oh, there's another pit. Oh, he just grabbed you. Call Elliot. And he takes you back to his lab. And then you leave. Oh, but the FBI guy is after you. Is that really an FBI guy? Because really he's about taking your stuff. Okay, you got a Reese's Pieces right there. Get away from that FBI guy. He's going to take everything you got. Eat your candy. You get an energy boost from that, and the FBI guy at it again. Boom. Yep, you gotta head and climb out of the pit. Yeah, see, where's the piece? Not here. I could be going on about this game for hours. And he just took a Reese's Piece from you! Is he a law enforcement guy, or is he a pickpocket? And, of course, I just fought out of the way of the scientist! Wow! Amazing that. And I fell into a pit. Yep, I'd be going on and on and on and on and on and on and on about this game. Of course, this game really gives you a reason to go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about. Okay, I don't know what that one is. And that's the landing zone. That's where you gotta wait for the spaceship. And here comes the FBI guy. Gotta get away from him. Up, scientist! Run away, run away. Oh, scientist, run away, run away. Okay, and still. Okay. Gotta find out where those, and FBI guy. Find where the piece. Oh, there's a piece right there. The flickering yellow. But how do you get around the scientist? Oh, you go into a pit. The scientist, for some reason, and the FBI guy, I've never known them to go into a pit to chase you. So, in some ways, this can be safe haven, but they are still a headache, and these got you again. And you got away again. It just takes a lot of energy for you to do. One piece of the interplanetary telephone. And up you go, up you go. Okay, gotta get away from the FBI guy and into a pit. Alright. Out of there. Call Elliot. I wonder why you really need to call Elliot. I think he does... Well, nothing in there, so get away from that and the FBI guy. You gotta go into the pits to find the piece of the phone. You gotta go into the pits to get away from the FBI guy and the scientist. But they just keep coming at ya. Every place you go, you fall into a pit. I can see why they'd be annoying. I'm annoyed too. And here we go again. And you're really running out of your first time energy. Those arrows mean you move to another zone. It's considered like a teleportation safe. Wait, is that a... No, you move to another zone. But I think you have a spot where you could call for the... I'll call Elliot and see. Let's see. Nope, Elliot just took your stuff too! Change that! He's gonna be an FBI agent someday! Is that Elliot's career goal? Oh, you loved him as a kid. And yeah, he just took the piece of your phone too. I'm thinking of... Yeah, I won't say it. It's too easy. Bad joke. See, eat your candy. Look for the piece of phone. Got one. Okay. Climbing up and your energy is running out. This takes a lot of energy out of you. Going up, going up, going up. Trying to get away. And you really don't have a lot, do you? Come on, E.T. And you fall in the pit, and you die. But here comes Elliot to give you a small little power boost. Not much. Okay. And back to the pit again. Well, found a piece of the phone. Oh, there's another one. And I also came across the call zone. I think where you could call the ship. But still getting around the... Find where that other piece of the phone's at. And, yep, died again. So, crawling, going up, going up, going up. Oh, there's the piece of the phone. Huh. Okay, you got your full phone. Now you just need to find a spot where you can call your ship and know where you're going to land. Oh, no. Yep, you escaped, but... Here we go, here we go, here we go. Down to the pit again. Up, up. And, yep, die again. Boosted up another 1,500. So, now you just got to call for your ship. Get to the landing zone. Don't let the FBI guy take your stuff. Not your phone, not your Reese's Pieces, not anything. Level 3 is an easier way because then you don't have to deal with all that baggage of the phone the FBI guy. And you're running out of power. So oh. Yeah. And you're dead for the last time. And did Elliot bury you in his backyard? Yeah. Basically, that gameplay experience was pretty much like a lot of other people's. You fell into pits, you had to dodge the FBI agent, you had to dodge the scientist, you had to find the right place to call the ship, you had to find the right place to land for the ship to pick up. If you're wanting an easy level, try level 3. That way you don't have any of the scientists or the feds hounding you. You just find your piece of the phone, find where you call your ship, and get out of Dodge. And apparently, I guess Elliot just, we call Elliot, he takes your candies too, although you kind of need them for energy. But getting back to business, a throwaway line that E.T. game designer Howard Scott Warshaw said was that Steven Spielberg asked if Scott Warshaw could make it more like PacMan. Howard Scott Warshaw said no. E.T., as it was the only game he could do in 5 weeks' time. Usually it took about 5 to 7 months, but in the business, you thrive on a challenge. So he tried to come up with the best game he could in a month and a half. And you can play it. And Spielberg approved it. But what if he was able to give Spielberg something more along the lines of his can't you make it like Pac-Man thing? Well, what you get from that? E.T.'s candy bars. Looks familiar. Sounds familiar too. Yeah, you're doing that bum 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 bum. Only this time you're not exactly just bouncing around. You are running in R.I.P. Yeah. Yeah, you're eating scientists here. E.T. doesn't do that. He also doesn't eat candy bars. He eats Reese's Pieces. And, well, they kept the power pills, I guess. But, yeah. And he flops around. So, well, he's still got his vitamins. And the taint is also a little different in this game. But yeah, it's like eating scientists and doing an RIP while eating candy bars and not Reese's Pieces. Yeah, none of this had anything to do with E.T. Of course, falling into pits didn't have anything to do with E.T. either. So, yeah, definitely, yeah, the game ended. But you know what? I want another crack. This was just too weird an idea. And this might have been what Steven Spielberg had in mind. It's like, can't you do something a little like Pac-Man? But maybe he didn't want E.T. eating scientists. But, yeah, this probably was closer to what Spielberg might have had. It's like, he just would have been eating Reese's Pieces, but he didn't need something to fight the scientists off that were chasing him. And where would Elliot have come into play? He wouldn't have. At least I don't think he would have. So, the original E.T. game made room for Elliot somehow. He was able to renew your energy a few times and bury in his backyard when you lost. Here it's just E.T. eating candy bars and making sure he eats scientists. Yeah, that was a thing. E.T.'s candy bars. You weren't eating Reese's Pieces here. You're eating candy bars, and apparently you're also eating scientists. Zombie scientists, I guess, because they apparently got resurrected in their box. I think some people were trying to imagining if they put the worst games in history, or what was deemed the worst games in history, what would you get? And, well, probably this was more along the lines of what Steven Spielberg thought, for all I know. But no. I think we got something worse. Worse than the two of them put together. I kid you not. Okay, that one I didn't expect. Santa Simon? I'm going to give this one a look. Atari 7800 logo along with the Atari Age logo. Santa Simon. Yeah. Basically, this is the screen you got. And these are the symbols you have. So, also trying to figure out how to play it. Alright. Basically, you just press the fire to start. And you have to follow along with the melody. Or the movements as the screen dictates. It may seem a little boring, but this really is a apparently festive game. And you still follow along. It's a memory aid. You have to remember the gestures, remember the sounds, and follow along as best you can. Seems like a nice, sweet and simple game. Sometimes it may not apply much to people that might be hard of hearing, but the visual imagery could probably help with that. It still serves to help with memory for like visual or audio stimulation and recall. But this really does have a little more of a festive Christmas image to it. And yeah, I can pop this in and I'd be willing to fight any boredom I had if I played it, because it's also keeping your interest as well as keeping your reflexes sharp. And if you ever need to step away, well, you can botch something later on and just start it again. Yeah, the snowman, the reindeer, the tree, and Santa. Those are the characters you have to work with. And just keep following along as best you can. Just want to see a little more of what happens. I'll keep quiet for a bit. And that was it. Sorry. Great way to end a holiday video, isn't it? It's a nice little simple game with Christmas imagery. You just try to follow things along as best you can. Try not to get bored along the way. Just try to follow the notes best you can. This was a homebrewed version for the 7800. I don't know who made it, but I'd say it was a very inventive, very festive game. And just nice, simple, and fun. No cuckoo crazy or anything like that. If you just want to play something simple, just follow the notes. Just enjoy it and enjoy the spirit. Well, that's it for this year. Still got 3 more videos for the physical year, January, February, March. I'll be figuring out what I'm going to be doing with those later on. But, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, season's greetings. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanza. Whatever season you celebrate, I wish you have the best. And a Happy New Year to one and all. Don't forget to click and subscribe.